you start pitch එක දුවන පස්සේ ආයෙත් ඒ සාමින් pitch off wow ගිහිල්ලා pitch එක ගියාට පස්සේ ආයෙත් right. So toss pitch and then
check one. Hello. එකෝ එක පොඩ්ඩක් අඩු කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? එකෝ එක පොඩ්ඩක් අඩු කරන්න විදියක් තියෙයිද? No, because නැත්තම් කතා කරන්න පොඩ්ඩක් අමාරුයි. Check one, check one. Check one, check one, check one, check one, check one, check one, check one. A very good morning. It's a lovely Wednesday, bright Wednesday here. Welcome to our coverage of the Sri Lanka Cricket Tier B T20 tournament. It's Kurunegala CC versus Leo CC today. We're in Dondagama. And it's shaping up to be a cracking day. We've got a few dark clouds in the horizon, but overall the sun is out and shining, and we just had the toss a few minutes ago, so we're just going to cross over now where Dhammika Hemanta is with the players and the captains.
Good morning to all. We are here at the Sri Lanka Army Ordnance Cricket Club ground, picturesque venue for a very important Tier B T20 encounter between Kurunegala Sports Club and Leo Cricket Club. All set for the toss. We have two captains alongside me, Sarinda Dasanayaka for Kurunegala Sports Club and Supun Dilshan for Leo Cricket Club, and our match referee for today's game, here to oversee the toss, Mr. Supun Lilaratna. Sarinda, you got the coin, it's time to give it a flick. Tails is the call, and it is heads. Sarinda, ඉතාමත් වැදගත් තරගයක් ප්‍රබල කණ්ඩායමක් සමග තරග කරන්නේ. කාසිවාසී ඔබ සතුයි ඔබේ තීරණය? අපි බෝල් කරන පළමු. මේ තරගාවලියට සහභාගී වෙන කණ්ඩායම් ගත්තාම ඉතාමත්ම විශිෂ්ට කණ්ඩායම් කිහිපයක් සිටින්නේ. ඔබගේ තරග රටාවත් එක්ක බලද්දී කොහොමද මේ දක්වා තරගාවලිය?
මේ දක්වා අපි තරගාවලිය හොඳින් කරලා තියෙනවා. අපි ගිය අවුරුද්දේ ප්‍රොමෝට් වෙලා තමයි මේ පළවෙනි පාට ගහන්නේ. අපේ ලාභාල කණ්ඩායමක් ඉන්නවා. අපි තරගාවලිය හොඳින් කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. මොකද්ද සංයුතිය ඔබ මේ තරගෙට අරගෙන? අපි වේග පන්දුවෙන් දෙන්නේ සහ ස්පින් පන්දුවෙන් දෙන්නේ සමගින් කණ්ඩායම.
සුපතන හොඳ තරගයක.
ස්තුතියි.
සුපුන් කාසිවාසයේ ජයග්‍රහණය කරන්න ඔබත් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙමින් හිටියේ දෙම කරන්නද?
ඔව් පන්දුවෙන් තමයි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙමින් හිටියේ.
මීට පෙර තරගයේ ඔබට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙච්ච දස්කම් අතරට එන්න හැකියුනේ නැහැ. මොනවද ඔයගොල්ලෝ කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන වෙනස්කම් මේ තරගයේ?
ඔව් එදා ටීම් එකත් එක්ක බලද්දී පොඩි වෙනස්කම් දෙකක් තියෙනවාද? ඒකත් එක්කම එදා එකේ අඩුපාඩු ටික හදාගෙන අද මැච් එක දිනන්න තමයි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ.
මොකද අද තරගයට ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ කණ්ඩායමේ වෙනසක් තියෙනවද?
ඔව් පිටිකරුවන් 7 දෙනයි පන්දුවන්නන් දෙන්නයි ඕල් රවුන්ඩර්ස්ලා දෙන්නයි.
හොඳ තරගයට සුපතන.
Thank you.
There you go. The news from the centre is that Kurunegala SC won the toss, had no hesitation in deciding to bowl first.
So Kurunegala SC deciding to bowl first. And now let's just cross over to Gamani Pere for the pitch report. Oh, I beg your pardon. The players out in the middle. So we're going to get right to the action. And we've got Gamani here in the commentary home booth.
Good morning, Madhushka. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I did have a look at the surface just a while ago. There's a bit of moisture on it. It's a bit darkish color. But a lot of rolling's been done. It looks pretty hard. I can understand why the skipper decided to bowl first. Wild heave out. Caught behind. Swinging away from the right-hander. That's a nice catch. Not easy when you're standing up to the stumps, and the batter is very disappointed, I'll tell you what. That is a great grab, and it's a great start.
What a way to start things off. Third ball, lovely bit of shape away. But Samit's going to be disappointed in himself. Just chasing after that one.
It was there to be hit, but this is a surface, Madhushka, that you might have to take a minute or two to get set, because it's mighty important that you get used to the speed of the track. Wide half volley, it just didn't have the execution. That was the first one. Yeah, when you win the toss and you decide to chase, you pick up a wicket in your first over. Samit goes for a duck. Kurunegala Club. Nothing on the board, losing their first wicket.
So Netma is the new batter out there. A left-hander. Just looking at the field there, quite a few gaps on the onside. And Sarinder there once again getting a nice little bit of shape back in, shifting from around the wicket. Very tidy action.
Yeah, not the most express bowler you'll ever see, but at times, on wickets that are holding up a touch, Madhushka, these kind of bowlers can be very difficult to handle. I'm surprised he's coming round the wicket, but he's getting a nice shape. That's driven through to deep cover. Runs on the board for Leo and Netma. This is a magnificent venue, I'll tell you, Madhushka. It deserves a picture for a postcard, really. It's a magnificent venue, isn't it? Green right around the mountains, and Army Ordnance Cricket Club, Dodam Pagama. Well, you got to take your hats off the way they have maintained this venue.
So dot ball to end the over. Just a single and a wicket in that first over. A successful one for Kurunegala SC. So just looking at the playing 11s there. First up, Leo's Cricket Club. We got Supunji, Wan Dilshan, the captain. There's Neluko Ehshan, Netma Karunaratne, Salindu Patirana, Romesh Suranga, Ashan Fernando, Samit Dilshan, Purna Kalhara, Prasad Asankaratne, Sudara Dakshina, and Gayan De Silva. And then you got on the Kurunegala side, there's Sarinda Disanaika, who is the skipper, picking up a wicket in his first over. Just like you were saying, Garmini, it's just a beautiful backdrop here. Very picturesque ground. Sanuja here then from over the wicket. Nice little bit of shape back in towards the left-hander, just tossing it up there, trying to get that LBW into play. Yet another gentle medium pacer, but the one thing with the slightly slower pace is that you are going to be able to get a bit more swing.
Yeah, and the conditions also, Madhushka, you got to take into consideration. You are going to get some conventional swing. It's a very heavy morning, overcast. There's a bit of grass in the middle part of the pitch. Not really where that good length is, the 5 meter, 6 meter mark, but there are some green patches in the middle. Coming down to meet it early. Netma. Yeah, the first 6 overs, it could really decide the result here. It'll take a bit of time for the batters to get used to the pace of the wicket. It looks hard. You're going to get some bounce on it, but obviously pace is what the batter will be looking to get used to. Intentionally change the length. Sanuja. That is because the previous ball, the batter came down the track, so he, like a typical fast bowler, he's letting the batter know.
And interesting enough, just to build on what you were saying about there being a bit of grass to the middle area of the pitch, which you can see on screen, that last one, once he pitched it a bit of back or length, there was that extra bit of bounce. So that's an interesting little aspect of this game that we should see, whether the seamers try to exploit that a little bit.
Slip in place, deep third, a deep point on the offside. 6-3 feel to the off. Short fine leg, short square leg and mid-on on the onside inside the circle. So nothing, Shabane.
Ashan there perhaps feeling he might have missed out. There was a bit of a short and wide one there, but a very tentative little waft outside the off stump. Quite the circumspect start here from Leo's, must be said. Just the 2 runs, and just as I say that, there it is, all the way. Really got a hold of that one. Nothing circumspect about that.
Just an extraordinary shot. His weight was on the front foot. Got his hands high up. Just like he read him like a book, didn't he? He knew exactly what was going to come. Picked it very early. First boundary of the innings after 2 overs, 8 for 1.
So Sarinder to continue here. Ooh, there's an appeal, but I think the giveaway there was the bowler himself was a little bit delayed in his appeal. That's always a giveaway. You can always trust the keeper to appeal instantaneously, but the giveaway is the bowler. Look at that. Yeah, definite daylight between bat and ball.
The bat was so far away from the body, so if there was a sound, that has to be off the edge again, coming in from. It'll be interesting to see what Nethmer's tactic is going to be. There's a very strong offside field. There's a deep square leg in front of the umpire. He'll be looking for that pitched up delivery to go over mid-on, mid-wicket area, really.
Yeah, and with Sarinder,
the wicket, yeah, the angle helps the batter to go through the line towards mid-on.
and that just beats the man at mid-off, puts in the dive. Maybe he could have done better, but the placement was pretty decent there.
Slower delivery. Placement was the key between extra cover and mid-off. So suddenly, 2 boundaries in the last 5 deliveries or so, Madhushka. 12 for 1. Like I said, it will be very important, this first power play. Missed out on that one. There's plenty of area on the onside for a very easy single with the angle that the bowler is, Sarinder is bowling, and his general stock ball is coming into the left-hander's pad. So it's just a matter of getting some bat on it, and you're going to get a single every day of the week. So you missed out on that one. After the boundary, these are the small things that go unnoticed in a game of cricket, particularly the T20 and the 50-over cricket. That's been hit over extra cover once again. It's in the gap. Valiant effort, but 4 more.
Maybe he could have done better again in the outfield. Puts in the dive, but just almost seems to roll over this one. But it's a nice shot, pretty safe shot, that up and over into the space. Quite a bit of ground to cover up for the man at sweeper cover. So just dealing in boundaries here at the moment, Leo's Cricket Club. Not much by way of singles. And there you go, Gamini. Just as you were saying, you stray a little bit too straight and it's a very easy single into the onside. That's the risk of such a lopsided field. You give the batter a fairly easy out. Well, that's 3 overs done, then 17 for 1. So, Gamini, on this sort of surface, because you had the closest look of all of us, what would you reckon is a par total?
Well, it all depends on how you fare in the first 6 overs, but around 150, 160 will be a very competitive total. Outfield is pretty quick, although it looks absolutely like a golfing green, really, but you're going to get plenty of value for your shots. So 160 will be a very competitive total, depending on the bowling lineup you have. Talking about the bowling lineup, you got spin for the first time, Madhushka. 2 left-handers in the middle. So right arm orthodox finger spin. Not a good start around those pads, and that will be another 4. Yeah, he's bowling to a 6-3 field, just a short fine leg, deep mid-wicket and a deep long on. So his line of attack should be around that 4th stump, 5th stump really, but that was way too straight.
And for a spinner, especially in modern cricket, with so many batters now proficient in the sweep and the reverse sweeps and so on, going for a lopsided field, particularly one where it's heavily on the offside, is quite difficult. Oh, that's up and over and into the space. But it just sticks in the surface there. The timing not quite there. Good bit of tracking back from the man at extra cover.
The typical T20 cricket. Your first ball around those pads and then try to compensate by bowling outside the stumps. But a fielder came from offside to the onside. At times, it's very difficult to set a field for bad bowling, really. The first ball was a really poor delivery, and easy single towards mid-wicket.
See,
I'm not sure. Yeah, sorry, Madhushka. I'm not sure whether long on is the right option against the left-hander, because that's a risky shot going against the turn, isn't it? I'd rather like a fielder back on the offside patrolling the boundary. Having said that, for the right-hander, 5 on the off, all inside the circle, deep mid-wicket, long on. That I can understand, because it's a conventional shot towards the spinning side. Bowling round the wicket, obviously looking to angle it across at the right-hander.
If you're listening in and you can hear all the chatter, the commentary box is quite close to the players' dressing rooms. So lots of support coming in from that side. Always nice to see.
When it comes to school cricket and club cricket, mostly the coaches expect the team to focus on the game, and modern day you get these players clapping for even for a single, and just to indicate that the whole dressing room is with you out there in the middle, and because in the middle basically it's 2 against 11, isn't it? So, but international cricket is a bit different. Upishly played towards mid-off, going with the shot. Single to finish the 4th over. 26 for 1. Another bowling change from the pavilion end. Someone's shouting, saying, "Come on, Maradona, Madushka."
Gotta love those nicknames that players come up. You never know the origins, but it's always fascinating. So this is Teekshana. No relation to Mahesh Teekshana, I presume. And that lovely shot up and over. This was in the slot, just around off stump. Nice swing of the bat and into the space at square leg.
Yeah, just before the point of delivery, you can see how he moves across the stumps. This is what you call playing the field. Square leg inside the circle, so is mid-on, so is fine leg. So 3 fielders on the onside, all inside. Very strong offside field, so you got to be mindful, Teekshan. Oh, that flew, didn't it? Again, the grassy part of the surface.
And Netma's got to be careful there. You don't want to be following it with the bat, right? Look at this. That's a nothing shot. Like, what are you? I would understand if it was more of a flash, but this was, it's very easy to get an edge on that.
And also there been a lateral movement off the surface, seam up delivery, considerable movement. Pitched up, over mid-on. It's a very strong bottom hand player. He has moved to 27 of 19, Netma.
Yeah, Netma is really he's up the ante a little bit in the last couple of overs. And actually, the end that Teekshana is bowling from, you can see that grass actually goes a little bit further up towards that good length area. So there is definitely something he can work with if he can just get the seam to land in the right spot.
And also have a look at the grip of Netma Madushka. There's a little bit of gap between the top hand and the bottom hand. So that's a good indication that he's a very strong bottom hand player, because normally the conventional grip is having your hands close to each other in the V, like a straight line, really. But when you have a gap in between, it's a very good... Oh, that is closer than you think. It's the wrong way to ground your bat in the first place. You're supposed to ground your bat with the edge, with the bat edge, really. But that time he's grounding with the bat face. So it's down to get stuck on the ground.
Oh, that one rose off just behind a good length. But that was quite the surprise. But yeah, that's where that patch of grass, even Ashan looking back there, taken by surprise.
Having look at those 2 short pitch deliveries, that might be the length that you need to operate with the new ball particularly. And having a couple of fielders square on the wicket on the boundary. Final delivery. There you are. Chance gone.
Well called, Garmini. That was right on the money. Again, in that uncertain area, I wasn't sure whether to come forward, stay back. And that extra bounce doing the trick. Closing the face a little bit too early. Inside, leading edge. And very easily taken by the square leg fielder coming in. So Ashan has to go there. Yeah, definitely the extra bounce doing the trick. Simple catch for Vinod. So an expensive over, but a successful one. So a change in partnership, and there's also been a change in the commentary box. Welcome, Dhammika.
Good morning, Madhushka. Good morning to all the viewers. Lovely surroundings, first of all. Glad I decided to come here. I mean, everywhere you look, it's green, soothing to the eyes. Picturesque venue, as you can see on these pictures. Two very good teams. Both have done reasonably well. Now Leo Cricket Club fighting for survival. Lost their previous game pretty badly at De Soisa Park, Moratour. So they looks determined so far. They are relatively happy. 35 for 2.
Short and wide, too wide, says the umpire. Nethma there, eyes lit up, wanted to go after it, but just couldn't reach it.
There is something in it for the faster bowlers. Lateral movement, Carmen has spoken about it. You can see on your screen. There you go. This is the time to get things under control as a seam bowler. If you're spreading all around, there's absolutely no point. Variation. Protection in the deep should only be a single.
Yes, I think sometimes when there's a little bit of grass on the pitch, bowlers, seamers, they can maybe get a little bit too excited, try to do too much. But as you saw with the wicket in the last over, it's just about keeping it in the right area and having the natural variation do the trick and asking batters very difficult questions.
But there is something in it. That's the new batsman, Neluka Heshan, right-hander, hoping to do well. Not too many runs during the series. So the batters will have to do a good job to put a good total on the board. We'll come back to that about what's available in the pitch. That's nicely bowled. There and thereabout. Keep it there and thereabout.
That's exactly right. That's where he wants to live. Just in that corridor, that fourth stump line. That one too, you saw there was a little bit of nip back in. And he had just the wicket again. You can see Ashan closing the face of the bat a little bit too early. Surprised by the extra bounce. And then once he gets out, he points, he looks at the wicket, he looks at the pitch. He knows he's been done in.
That's good cricket, good communication, non-striker. Got into the act. The call was a right one. The reaction was even better. We saw a classic example yesterday at Pisara Oval. Two faster bowlers, Shiran Fernando and Santosh Gunatilaka. They didn't try to do any experiments. They knew there is something in the pitch, stuck to a one-liner length, nothing else. Going for variation, a full toss. I thought the batter would be disappointed. Juicy full toss.
I'm not sure the slow ball is the right ploy at this point in time, particularly one that loops up quite as enticingly as that.
Use the seam. That's the way to go. There you go, immediately getting just a bit of movement away from the bat, beating the outside edge. This young man looks very impressive. Bit of a slingy action.
Yeah, and that just goes to show you don't need the slower one when your stock delivery is able to do that much on this sort of surface. Like, look at that lateral movement. That was quite a few degrees. Very difficult when it's going across the left hand. Even someone who is looking quite set like Nethma.
Once again, slower delivery. Too many variations. Concede a single. Overall, great over. 6 done, 39 for 2. Not too much of club cricket being played here. So both the teams, visitors basically, though Kurunegala is categorized as the home team. So they know very little about the pitch. That's maybe the reason why Sarinder, immediately after winning the toss, deciding to bowl first. I thought he made the right call. There is some bounce.
I'm liking the look of this Tikshana. He's got a bit of dog in him, as they say, you know. There's a bit of bite. I think in the last over, yes, he went for 2 boundaries, but that last wickets seems to have given him an idea of exactly where he needs to be bowling.
Back of a length. They call it the hard length. Hits it hard. Ball tend to wobble around. Heavy atmosphere, I can say that. He looks good for more wickets. Not too far away from the fielder. Sort of a little deepish point there. Had absolutely no opportunities, but that delivery definitely should get the ball excited. There you go.
Yeah, it was not too far from him, but by the time he dived, it was already past him. But yeah, that again, you know, just that extra bounce, making it very difficult for the batter to keep it along the ground.
He has already understand the right line and length, sticking to it. Very impressive to see. You may come into a game with different plan in your mind, but when you see there is something in the pitch, this is how you should bowl. Definitely not the ideal line if it is a flat track, but here it definitely working for Tikshana. Valiant attempt. 10 out of 10 for commitment. Was in the air for a little while. Fielder in the deep has to come a long way. This will tell us a story.
The trap was set there, Dhammika. The man out at deep backward square or deep square leg. The short ball, bit of extra bounce. And Nethma took the bait. He went for the shot, didn't connect, but just short of, like you said, a very valiant effort for the man in the deep.
That's nice. That'll do the job for Tikshana. He already looks very impressive, looking good for more faster bowlers, especially when it comes to Tier B. We've almost always seen teams starting up with spin bowlers due to the abrasiveness of the surfaces. But this is a fantastic surface, and the ground looks picturesque.
A rare leave. Don't really see too many of those in T20 cricket. That was the cutter as well from Tikshana, I think. So it's... yeah, so it's 7 overs done, 44 for 2. Here's a look at the batting card. There, the two openers out cheaply, but Nethma holding strong. 32 of 26, and Neluka joining him just recently, 4 of 6. Decent start, but they'll want to maybe increase the scoring rate in the next 5 to 10 overs.
There's no doubt. I think, based on what we've seen so far, the track is a good one. You should score close to 140, 150. That'll be a very competitive score. And also, there's a possibility with sun baking it down, it settles to be a very flat one. So we'll have to wait and see. Bottom hand oriented player, likes to play his shot, often takes the aerial route.
Nicely worked into the onside. Thinks about the second, but the man in the deep closes in quite quickly. Be interesting to see if Sachindu can get a bit of bounce off this track as well. He's a pretty tall guy, high release point. Because if he can extract some bounce, even a little bit of turn will be tough to contend with.
But there is a little bit of moisture underneath the surface. Ball obviously tend to grip really well and holds up in the surface, for a fraction of a second. That's nicely played. Cross-batted heave towards mid-wicket region, and Sachindu, he should be mindful of the fact now he got protection down in the deep. He should be bowling one line rather than spreading it around. There you go. Straight in line with the leg stump. Netma, having batted so well, decided to play all over it. Made a mess of it. Leg stump rattled. Third wicket down. Momentum is seriously broken now.
Have to say that's a little bit of a self-inflicted injury there. Netma showing all of his stumps, showing middle and leg, trying to get the sweep around the corner. He did play a pretty good sweep early on when Sachindu bowled in that first over of his. But this time, unable to get any bat on it. And Sachindu too felt like he bowled it a little bit quicker. And it's the old mantra, you hit, you miss, I hit.
Absolutely. It wasn't a wicket-taking delivery. Angled in towards the batter. Had he played with a normal stance, went for a conventional shot, would have easily picked up a single or a couple. But nevertheless, another wicket down. This has been the problem when it comes to Leo's Cricket Club batting. No real partnerships. Whenever batter looks good, tend to throw their wicket away unnecessarily, just like Netma did brief moment ago. It's never a nice thing. You need to do build-up duties during the middle passage. Middle passage is where you laying out a solid foundation, scoring 7, maybe 8 and over, and finishing big. That's nice. Let the ball come on to him, work the way on the onside, gets a single, gets off the mark. Romesh, the new batsman.
Yeah, and from a Leo's perspective, losing the set batter just in that middle overs period, not ideal. He would have been the one they would have been looking to keep the scoreboard ticking along, especially with the fielding restrictions now lifted. But one thing is they've still managed to keep a left-hand, right-hand combination, which is something a lot of teams try to do these days.
It's very important. Even international teams, pay proper attention to that. Mixing it up with left-right combinations. A good delivery to complete the 8th over. Things looking fairly good for Kurunegala at the moment. 47 for 3. Bowling so far, the wicket takers. Surinder, skipper, picking up a wicket, given away 5 and over. 1 for 10. Sachindu, done fairly well. 2 overs. 1 for 12 and 14 for 1 for Theekshana. He looks very impressive. Tall young man with broad shoulders, hitting the deck hard. Just as I mentioned, they got all the right ingredients. Very exciting cricketers. We hardly know about them. And Ramesh Suranga already off the mark and looks like a very stylish left-hander. You and I were there at RPICS a few days back, and we saw how NCC built their innings. There were just 2, maybe 3 wickets by the time approaching 7th over. Then how well Kavin Bandara batted. Things will eventually get easier. That should be the way to go forward. Skipper is back First delivery worked away and gets a single. This is good cricket.
Yes, Arinder here looking to rotate his bowlers, short spells, 1 to 2 overs max. Still finding that swing. It's against the right hander though, especially you can see that breeze going across the ground. It's against the right hander where that swing away from the batter will prove most useful.
Certainly got the physical attributes. He's a tall man, at least 6 foot. Looks not similar to Prabhat Jayasuriya. Oh, that's nice. Beautiful hands. There you go. You don't need to worry about getting singles. It's the dot balls that you should be worried about. It's a game killer, especially when it comes to this format. You just cannot allow to have, 40%, 50% of dot balls. That's the mistake Sri Lanka made in international stage continuously. Too many dot balls. They've been applying conscious attention, getting rid of it. Not going to get rid of it 100%, but maintaining it around 25, maybe 33%. That'll be the ideal scenario. Firmly driven away. Straight to the field, unfortunately. Only a single. So it's good going. 50 on the board for Leo Cricket Club. Never a nice feeling losing a wicket without a run on the board. In line with the stumps, nicely worked away and gets a single. There are no fielders inside 30-yard circle on the onside, which means they are directing the batter, forcing him to go through the onside, getting a single. Well within the tram lines. Skipper Surinder has been doing a very good job into his third over. Not conceding too many boundaries. That's the important thing. I thought the boundaries around 70 yards. Outfield, very lush. So you don't get to see ball travels all that fast. Oh, loud shout. Was there an edge? No, says the umpire. Completes a very good over, just 4 runs off. He has to go for it, isn't it? There is room outside the off stump. 51 for 3 after 9.
Once again, the wide shot here from our great camera team, showcasing the beautiful landscape over here in the Umbagoda. So we're getting some left arm orthodox now. The 5th bowler coming into play. It's Ruchira, number 17. Starts off with one quite loopy and tossed up outside off. Bit of a loosener that.
He's got predominantly offside oriented field setting. So the skipper asking him to bowl outside the line of the off stump. Interested to see the approach by the left-hander who's on 3. Left-handers generally favors left-arm orthodox spin bowlers. Balls turning in towards them. Straight away. Going for a big slug sweep, but he was nowhere near.
I like the option, but that was also quite smartly bowled by Ruchira, who fired it in wide of off. That's what he wants the batter to do. Try to take him on against the angle. Every run being cheered by the dressing room, the Leo's dressing room. Very supportive bunch.
Love to see that. Reminds us of our school days. Dressing rooms always very, very vocal. So much of instructions. There was a steady drizzle around an over or maybe over and a half, but wasn't enough to bring in the covers. But the two umpires in the middle decided it's time to bring on the covers on top of the playing field, especially the square in the middle. Let's hope it's a passing shower.
Yeah, let's hope so. But for the time being, it is raining fairly hard. There's a bit of a blowing. You can see the covers bellowing there from the wind. There have been some grey clouds overhead. Even as we were driving in, we could see that in the distance. But as we say that, I mean, already it's lightened up a little bit.
As soon as they put on the covers on the top, rain eases off. Right now, absolutely not a single drop. That's how it goes. Been invited. Leo 53 for 3 after 9.3. Fairly decent going considering how they batted against United Southern Sports Club the other day at the Soisa Park. Umpires already considering the possibilities of taking the covers off. And we can see very reluctantly walking towards the pavilion. That's bowling for Kurunegala. Wicket taker, Surinder. Picked up a wicket when there's no run on the board. 1 for 14, he looks good. Sachindu, 1 for 12. Looks good for more wickets. And Tikshana, very impressive. These are the wickets to have been taken by Kurunegala bowlers. Three of them. Faint edge, lovely piece of bowling. Just enough moment, and that one probably hold up in the surface. Poor shot selection round the legs. Not something you see all that often. Left-hander perishes. 3 down for 53. Right now, covers on top of the playing surface. We'll take a short break. Come back with a good news.
Hello and welcome back. It was a short break. The sun's back out. Yes, you might be seeing some grey clouds overhead, so the rain might return. But for the moment, sun is out, the covers are off, and the players are back ready and underway to continue this SLC Tier B T20 tournament match between Kurunegala SC and Leo's Cricket Club. There we have the batting card so far. Only Nethma doing any sort of damage really with his 33 of 28. But he fell a short while ago. And Neluka and Romesh looking to consolidate the innings after losing 3 wickets inside the opening 10 overs. Here's Ruchira to continue with his left arm spin.
Come on, Enna.
Just as we expected. It was a passing shower right now, very bright and sunny. As you mentioned, there is cloud right on top of us. Rain might return, but what matters? Play continues. Here's Ruchira. Slower off the track. Smart piece of bowling. So the batsman trying to make some room. He slowed it up, but I thought batsman maybe missed out on a scoring opportunity. There was a field in the deep, and he got it a little squarer. Would have been an ideal opportunity for him to pick up a boundary.
Yeah, the early movement from the batter kind of took him out of the hitting range. Nice little deft single there to short third. So that is something Leos have been proficient at, turning over the strike. Though, what they really do want, you need to mix in the boundaries. Singles alone aren't going to be enough.
Even against, easiest of bowlers, you can't hit everything away for boundaries. Swept it away, picked it from outside the off stump. There is protection. The boundaries here pretty decent sized, so you're not going to clear the boundaries like when you are playing at the Soisa Park. A very good over. Single edge delivery. 10 gone. 56 for 3. Having a look at Kurunegala bowling once again. They've done a decent job keeping them under 5.6 and over. Picked up 3 wickets in the process. Skipper Sarinder leading the way. Early wicket always matters. Sachindu, another wicket taker, joined by Tikshana with another wicket. Fairly even Steven, bright and sunny, lovely surrounding. Kamini Pereira once again alongside me. Sarinder. Oh, that's flicked away really neatly into the gap. I knew there was something coming. They tried to find, trying hard to find boundaries, not coming. I thought the pace helped him on that occasion.
Yeah, good morning, Dami. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, the footwork. Looking to back away to penetrate that field on the offside. Bowler following the batter, but far too straight, wasn't it? Fine leg inside the circle. That's asking for it, really. Sarinder into his last over. This time too wide. Nice to see he's still getting a bit of shape, isn't he? India, an extra run as well.
He's tall and upright and sort of open-chested, so he gets a movement away from the bat from time to time. During the rain break, I thought serious instructions must have been given to both the batters out there in the middle. 10.1 overs, previous delivery was a wide. That sounded nice. Straight to the fielder. Couple of meters to either side would have been a certain boundary.
Yeah, these are very good conditions. In the morning when I had a look at the pitch, Damika, I thought there's a bit of moisture and it might hold up a touch, but no. I read it all wrong. It's coming on nicely, and there's a bit of grass in the middle part of the pitch, so you're going to get extra bounce. But being a medium pacer, Sarinder will be looking to pitch it up like he just did then. So, I reckon 150, 160, just about the par on a surface like this. A very quick outfield. I mentioned this before in my last stint as well, because this ground is an absolute picturesque ground. It's an understatement, really. It's a magnificent facility over here.
That was struck firmly. That's painful. Into his middle finger. Stinging blow. Hopefully no serious damage. Skipper, so important. He's got an over to go. And also with the bat. He's a useful customer. A bit of a hold up. Time for some magic spray. Is he going back? Looking at his reaction, it's not looking good.
Now he's only got 3 balls to go, so to be bold. That is the beautiful pavilion that we are sitting in. Back to the venue, Dambika. I sit right opposite this, the name list of captains of the Army Ordnance cricket team, and there are a few names that have conquered the world, really. Sikuge Prasanna has been the captain here. Few years, 5 times, 6 times. The Mendes, the Zoiza. Good batting. Into the gap, running with the shot. So suddenly that bound in the first ball of this over, they are converting this over to a very good one as far as the batters are concerned. So 4, then there was a wide and then singles off the next 3 balls. So suddenly 8 runs with 2 balls to come, and they'll be looking around 8 to 10 runs per over from here on, won't they? To get that total to 160 really.
They do have strong hitters coming down the order, so it's about setting them the right platform. Right now, pretty decent. That boundary certainly helped. Previous delivery. Once again, nip inwards. Batter was trying to make a little bit of room outside the off stump, trying to blast that one through the offside where the gaps are. Little shimmy to the offside, worked away. Will they come back for the second? Yes, they will. This is good cricket. Excellent over. Just they picked up a boundary of the first delivery. Every other delivery, picking up a single at least, makes it a very good over. Expensive one. After 11, 67 for 3.
Hey, winner. Ikman setting macha, Ikman setting na. Hari ele ke kennon. Be amai ano na.
Iluka definitely settled. Romesh stretching his arms. It's time to go after the bowling. 9 more overs remaining, just as Garmini mentioned. 8 and over, 9 and over, maybe 10. Get them close to 150, 160. That will be a very, very competitive score. Probably a winning score. Wasn't too far away from the outside edge. Good piece of bowling. Little bit of bounce there.
Yeah, true bounce. A lot of rolling has been done. Surface looks pretty hard. It's a modern day T20 format, Damika. The batters look to score a bound in the first or second over of the innings, or the over. So, because the bowlers make changes after every delivery, really.
You said it right, as a bowler being hit for a boundary with your first delivery, always unsettling. You always trying to do something different.
And the mind games too, for that matter. You get hit for a 4 in the first 2 deliveries of the over, and that put a lot of pressure on the bowler's mind. And now he's looking to finish the over well once you get hit for a 4. Scoop.
ekai, laya ekai.
Just a single, didn't have the speed he wanted.
Catch it.
There is
Niyamai,
no
Niyamai,
pace, as you
Niyamai,
mentioned.
Niyamai.
Because of that, they only managed to get a couple, too much of a risk, one would argue. But in contemporary cricket, it's a staple shot, productive one.
Ekai.
Try to
Niyamai,
blast that one to
Niyamai.
the onside. Didn't really came off.
Back.
They got a single though.
Niyamai, Vinod. Udara danawa, niyamita danawa.
60-yard boundary right around, so
Hondata yana macang. Enlamai.
T20 is 3 overs. Decent figures that. 1 for 15.
Ekai.
Will they come back for the
Easy,
second?
easy,
No.
easy.
Just the one.
Niyamai,
good over.
Niyamai.
Just 4 off it with final delivery to
Udara
come.
macang, niyamita danawa.
Will he take an extra risk? Romesh, the left-hander, obviously his leg side is going against the turn. So
Udara yana macang, inna.
Sachindu has been doing a very smart job. There you go. Ball according to your field. Excellent over, just given away 4 runs, 12 gone, 71 for 3.
Captain in.
They've been struggling to keep the run rate above 6 and over, which will be ideal if they can reach somewhere close to 7, maybe 7.5. Predicted scores aren't great. 119. They need a big push right here, right now.
yeah, it's an important game for both sides. Dhammika Leo obviously coming off a loss last time around against United Southern at the Morotua Stadium. We were there, a rain-affected game, but they were completely outplayed in all 3 departments, weren't they? By a star-studded United Southern's team. Yeah, I think they've got to get their thinking part right. One of the batters needs to... Neluka has been there for 20 deliveries, just going under a runner ball. So one of these batters will need to take off and look for a boundary.
I'd say right here, right now. Less than, bit of a wild heave. It was an edge. Fortunately, landing safely. Had he made a solid connection, would have ended up in the hands of the mid-wicket fielder. Wasn't a good shot at all.
Yeah, spliced it really. Bottom hand coming way too early.
Gamini, you've spoken about the size of the boundaries, 60 yard, maybe a little more than that, but the outfield, lush green. Another edge. Oh, he's living charmed life.
That's very nicely bowled. At least 5 yards slower than his previous delivery. It's very important when you're playing this white ball format that you need to have the ability to vary your speed without changing your arm speed that much, and that was a very nice delivery. You know, some finger spinners use a bit more weight on that spinning finger to slow it down. That was quicker.
You like his wrist position? Very similar to Manav Suthar of India team. Now, looking to get a little bit of extra bounce. He put his body behind the deliveries, more or less, gets batters in trouble. That's lovely. Gone aerial once again. Shot of the fielder, gets a single. Excellent over so far though, conceded 5 runs. 6 runs rather.
So since the interruption, we've had Well, this is the last delivery of the 13, so 3 overs pretty much, just for a solitary boundary, and I think they need to do a bit more than that. This is a very good pitch. That's straight to long on, 1 bounce, just a single. So 5 singles and a double in that over 7 off. 78 for 3 after 13.
මචං ඉක්මන් සෙට් වෙන්න මචං ඉක්මන් සෙට් වෙන්න.
Important partnerships. 1 in progress, 21 unbroken.
හොඳට දානවා
32 rather. And apart from that second wicket stand, 35 runs, nothing much. It's time to dig deep, time to, go after the bowling. With only 7 overs remaining, 2 set batters. Neluka, I think it's time for him to be the aggressor. Coming back to the size and dimensions of this ground, outfield not the biggest, but ball isn't travel all that fast. Lush green outfield. You need a bit of power.
Come on, Enna.
If you're clearing the boundary or, get it along the ground. There goes swept. Came with the gloves, it seems. Hands. That's why that one didn't bend all that far. Ooh, that one spun prodigiously. Wicketkeeper had absolutely no opportunities. They anyway coming back for the second run. 2 extras.
Come on, boys, come on.
Definitely.
Looks like it.
That's what educated executive
Come on, boys, come on.
purposely played. But have a look at that turn. He got that ball to rip off that off stump, didn't he? Shot in the gap. Wow, that's a mighty good effort. Yeah, that hit the rope.
Good effort. Well done.
Oh, did it?
Straight in, straight out. Verdict by the fielder in the deeps. It was inside. There you go. Good effort. Should I take that? I thought hard hands popped out of it.
Karuchi.
I'll tell you about Ruchira. He's a good purchase off the surface. Ramesh has been 16 delivery, just a 10 off. Nicely bowled. One that went in with the arm. Still looking for a boundary.
Finding it very hard to penetrate the boundaries, trying their best. Previous shot was a flat one, but straight to the fielder. Ruchira, in the meantime, varying his deliveries really nicely. Big turners, deliveries that go straight in with the arm. Few subtle adjustment to the field set. Little shimmy across the stumps. Well taken, makes no mistakes. It was coming for a while, isn't it?
Yeah, top edge. Nicely taken. It's a good little period for Kurunegala Sports Club. There you are. I don't think he had any intention to play it on the ground. It was, the hands were coming from low to high really, so it was deliberately going up and over. Suranga, well, 10 off 17. Kurunegala Sports Club, 83 for 4. Oh, I should say Leo's Cricket Club.
No steady progress. First to 5, they lost a wicket. Around 26 runs. 58. Lost 2 wickets. Never a good thing. No. Actually, there's never a right moment to lose a wicket. Now, just when they're starting to look aggressive, just when they're starting to look good, in fact, they lost a wicket once again. Forced them to make consolidation. This is ideally the stage they should be on the lookout for scoring boundaries, but scoring boundaries proven very hard. Here's the final delivery. Once again gets height. Takes it quite easily. Committing suicide. He knew that there was a fielder lurking in the deep. Went right into his hand. 2 wickets. Now he'll be on a hat-trick. Fielder made no mistakes, so that's the fine. The wicket was taken during the last delivery of the previous over, so won't be a hat-trick, but back-to-back wickets. Kurunegala will take that. Niluka out for 29 of 30 deliveries. Gavin, you were there at the Soisa Park the other day. This is the same issue they suffered against United Southern's SC. Lost way too many wickets. They've been reckless, struggling to get boundaries, eventually going for a suicidal big shot.
Yeah, it's quite important to have set batters to bat in the last 5 overs. Nearly would have been a team hat-trick. Coming down the track, quickly realized that he's nowhere near the ball. Oh, I'll tell you what. Obviously, the umpires don't have the technology that we have, so it's the naked eye. He has given the benefit to the batter.
That was very close. Absolutely no doubt. That's the previous dismissal. Askaya, no real power. Just as we mentioned, no intention of keeping it down. Knew there was a fielder, straight into the hands of the fielder who makes no mistake. 5 down for 83. Well bowled. No room provided. Yet he managed to guide that one straight to the fielder at backward point region. Gets another single. Very good over so far. Now it's safe to say Leo Cricket Club right now is stuttering.
Madhushika looks a good bowler, doesn't he? He's got a very economical action. Nice little jump. Bracing through his front leg. Kurunegala area is known to produce very good left-arm spinners. I can remember my schooling days. There was Ajit Tekhanayaka, then Rangana Herath. Yeah, there were plenty of them. Madhushika, flighted delivery, gets on the back foot. Yeah, this is the problem you're going to face, Dhammika, when you have 2 batters. Both have faced 2 deliveries each, batting the 15th over. So the very fine line between risk and reward. As a new batter, it takes a bit of time, really. It's on the back foot once again. Short third, just a single. It's a terrific over from Madhushika. Wicket off that over, just 3 runs. 86 for 5 after 15.
on, boys. Come on, boys. Come on. මෙයා කෙලින් කරාද? Come on, Ruchi. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Come on. Keeper! Aye.
So the impressive Ruchira to continue. Just 9 runs given away from his first 2 overs, a wicket to boot. And there we see a half chance at a run out.
Yeah, since the very first ball after the resumption, Madhushka, we haven't seen a boundary. For nearly what, 5 overs now. Once again a miss hit from Salindu. So the part that you're looking for a boundary is been well handled by Kurunegala Sports Club at the moment. So very important period this for both sides. If the Leo can come up with a flurry of boundaries and finish around the 140 mark.
Yeah, just to add to your point about boundaries, I think they've struggled for boundaries ever since Netma was dismissed in the 7th over or so.
Come on, boys. Come on, boys.
He was really the protagonist in the Leo's batting lineup. From that point on, it's been a lot of singles, a lot of little dabs, working into space, but no real shots in anger.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was mentioning to Dambika a moment ago. At this point of the innings, you need to wait to hit the ball. The ball is not there, you adjust for a single rather than looking to put a single. The approach is very important. Once again, another single. So 5 singles off this over.
Yeah, there's really nothing wrong with the 5 singles, but usually the way you maintain that run rate is you find one boundary and then you supplement it with the singles. So you don't need to take too many risks. But over there again, so it's 6 singles to end the over. 16 overs done then, 92 for 5 as we head into the death overs period. But even now, it's not too late. If you can get maybe 1 or 2, like if these 2 of the next 4 overs, you can get at least 10 to 15 runs from it. You're still looking at a score perhaps in the region of 140, which on this surface where there is a little bit of lateral movement, it's very defendable. There we go, a reverse sweep. Haven't seen much of that this game.
Yeah, 10 runs per over from this point will get them to 132. Yeah, I reckon they'll be, if they do get there, I reckon they'll be 20 runs short on a very good surface and a very fast outfield. Down the ground towards mid-on, comfortably taken. Madhushika once again very nicely bowled. Saw the batsman approaching towards him. Picks up his second wicket, Madhushika. Purna goes for 5 off 7. Leo Cricket Club 93 for 6. Prasad Asanka, the new batter, the left-hander. He's one batter who's known for his heroics with the bat, can hit a long ball. His contribution will be very important as far as Leo is concerned. Shorter delivery, just works on the onside to get his innings underway.
I suppose that's the other thing. When you don't necessarily look to take on... Oh, and there, he's beaten a man in the ring. But just enough of a hand to it to take the pace off the ball. But yeah, just getting back to what I was saying. When you aren't in the habit of trying to find the gaps and moving the field around, what happens is when you do attempt to take on the bowling every once in a while, you need to really be specific. Whereas if you're able to consistently have the bowlers thinking, then suddenly the gaps become a little bit easier to hit and target.
And Madhushika, he's bowling around 85-90 k's per hour, so he's not giving any time for the batter to dance down the track, really. Final delivery. Goes aerial, but towards long on. Very well done in the deep. Got rid of it very quickly, Dilshan. So single to finish the 17th. 98 for 6.
Just looking at the scorecard there. Runs at the top of the order from Netman Niluka, but not much else to go with it. The wickets have fallen at regular intervals. And I think even in the lack of boundary hitting, maybe one thing they could have tried to do is work in a few more twos. Just sticking to singles is also... Because with twos, you get a couple of twos and over, you can still get your scoring rate to around 8 and over, which is decent. But they've struggled to do that. It's always been singles, and then they get out looking for that big hit.
Dikshan, 2 overs, 1 for 14 thus far. Well, they couldn't put the spinners away. Can they make use of the speed? Very strong offside field. 6 fielders, to be precise. Short fine leg, deep square leg, and long on the on. There's that length that we spoke at the start of the innings.
Yeah, Dikshan has been very good at exploiting that back of a length. Getting a bit of extra bounce, some lateral movement, particularly good against the left-handers with the ball going across.
Straight to extra cover. I'll tell you what, the catching has been pretty good from Kurunegala Sports Club. They've pretty much taken every opportunity, haven't they? That was travelling at speed. Yeah, he feels it, doesn't he?
That was beautifully worked, that wicket. They'd left the extra cover boundary available. They had a man at deep point, just on that length, asking the batter, challenging the batter, can you take this on the up and clear the man in the ring? And in this instance, the answer was a resolute negative.
Come on, boys, come on, come on. Well done, boys, come on.
Seven down then for Leo's, limping across the finish line here. Tikshana, he's so good at that. Now, he was taking it away from the left hand earlier. Now he's taking it away from the right hander. Sieve movement both ways. Quite the exciting prospect.
Yeah, that's pretty much good length for a number 9. As you come in, that one climbed and hurried on to him, didn't it? Yeah, again that short length. It has been very effective on this surface. One for the over, umpire says, and very well directed too.
Having been struck for 2 boundaries in his first over, this has been a very impressive comeback from Tikshana. Just looking at that last wicket again there. Not much control in that shot. Bit of a wild hack, really. This time baiting him with the forward one. Chips it over the infield. Comes back for the second.
With the overnight rain, Madhushka, that scoreboard side is pretty soft. So that's why it just plunked in it, that last one. First delivery we saw in this over, that couple takes Leo Cricket Club to the 3-figure mark, 100. Swing and a miss. Terrific over. Picked up a wicket, just 2 off it. 2 overs to go. Leo. They are 100 for 7.
The bowling card there. Wickets nicely spread around. Madhushika and Tikshana, the 2 key men, identical figures in fact. 3 overs, 2 for 16 for the pair of them. Tikshana though, look at that, 10 dots. Only bettered by Sarinder, the skipper. 1 for 25. He's finished his spell. Very impressive spell. None of the bowlers really going for that many runs. It's been a tidy performance all round. Madhushika now to bowl out into his 4th over. Very impressive he's been. It's been helped that deliveries like that haven't really been punished. Low full tosses.
Yeah, once again, like I mentioned to Dhammika a moment ago, Madhushka, in T20 format, white ball format overall, but has looked to score a bound in the first 2 deliveries of the over because the field change, the bowler changes the approach. But if you were waiting to hit a bound in the first ball, that was a juicy full toss, wasn't it? Slowed it in there, and that he has got off the meat of the bat. Madhushika will be very disappointed with that one. Deliberately slowed it down. Maybe looking for a wicket, but that came.
Yeah, that came right of the screws. In the slot. Nice firm base. Gets on one knee. Few more of those and the Leo's camp will be crowing much louder than what you just heard. I believe that's the first boundary in close to 10 overs.
That was at least 10 yards quicker than his previous delivery, Madhushika. Kite season. We come to the business part of August. Left arm round the wicket, looking to angle it across the left hand. He'll be very disappointed to miss out on that one. That had enough speed. If he had got any bat onto that one. Behind point, there's a paddock really. Coming over the wicket. Wrong length. And also I think he's way too late to get into a position because the reverse hit or the switch hit comes under a premeditated category, Danushka. You need to get into a position where bowler is just about to deliver the ball. You can't get into a position after the ball has been released. You'll be too late. That's in the gap. Will it run? Yet it will.
Very nice hit that. They've struck a few in that region. Scarcely found the gap. But here manages it very nicely.
Finally, very productive over for Leo. 12 coming off it. 112 for 7 with 2 to come. So if you just saw that graphic at the bottom of the screen, Madhushka, last 12 balls, there were 6 dot balls. This is the time where you need to score off every delivery, and 6 dot balls means a maiden over. You cannot really afford to play dot balls at this stage of the innings.
And this man has been one of the prime exponents of those dots. This one, has he got enough on it? It's gone straight up, and yes, that is a big hit. Lovely little flat bat slog. But in the final over of the game, that's exactly what you're looking for. Stand and deliver.
Yeah, that's a terrific shot.
That's a proper baseball swing there.
So 6 off the first delivery of the last over.
It's gone again. But this time, not on it, but it lands. 4 fielders converging. Lands right in the middle of all of them. Comes back for the second.
Finally, something to smile about for Leo Sports Club. Is this the over that can give their bowlers an opportunity to make a match out of it? 8 off, 4 deliveries to come, 120, couple more hits.
It's gone again. Does well to get over that, keep it along the ground. And even if the total in the overall context is below par, there is something to be said for finishing an innings with momentum. You know, there's a little pep in your step then when you come out to field, your opening bowlers, and then maybe you pick up an early wicket. And suddenly the belief starts to grow and the doubts start to creep into the opposition.
Exactly, Madhushka. T20 cricket is all about momentum. I think Leo Sports Club didn't have the momentum that they required at the early part of that inning. So, if they can finish with a flurry. Oh, he never missed. Oh, wide.
That was on the margins. No complaints from Tikshana. Let's have a look at that again. Yep, that is the right call. So the run rate above 6 for the first time in quite some time. Oh, he's got a hold of this. One bounce into the space. This is turning out to become probably the biggest over of the innings, coming right at the death. Oh, look at that. Just moves away, moves towards the offside, gets there. He knows what's coming. Tikshana has been bowling that back of a length all day. And he's ready for it.
Gee, this game can be a very cruel one if you're a bowler. Tikshana had terrific figure at the start of his fourth over, didn't he? In a blink of an eye, suddenly, he's gone for 30-odd runs in his last over.
No, he sticks to short one. And they steal it. Oh, he's run out. He's run out. So that's the 8th wicket down. Nice pick up and throw from Tikshana. That too was close to being called a wide, I think. But just within the lines.
Yeah, I think that slight hesitation really cost him his wicket. If he had just continued to run from the word go, he would have probably made it. 17 of 14 deliveries for Salindu. Leo Cricket Club 126 for 7.
So considering where they were at the start of the 17th over, they have actually gone at 10 and over, or close to 10 and over. Oh, nearly a carbon copy of the last one. And this is some old school scrambling gully cricket there. They run 2 off a bye.
Yeah, valuable couple of runs at the end.
And that brings the innings to a close. $128 for 7. So 128 for 8. Kurunegala SC set a target of 129 to win. Definitely not of the imposing variety. They backed themselves to chase this down. But Leos will be happy that they managed to scramble even that much, because they were languishing at around 92 for 6. There, just looking at the scorecard, runs at the top of the order. Nedma Neluka getting 33 and 29. There were some runs too for Romesh, who got a double digits, and Salindu 17 of 14. But really, it was Sudara's hitting at the end, 18 of 9, that pushed the run rate beyond 6 and gave the bowlers something to defend.
And the bowling card for Kurunegala Sports Club. Collective effort from the team. As many as 6 bowlers were used. You can pretty much make a case for everyone, really. Sarinder, 4 overs, 1 for 25. Sachindu picked up a wicket. Tikshana, well, he was very unlucky, wasn't he? 2 for 30. Ruchira, 1 for 15. And Madhushika, to me, was the pick of the bowlers, although he has considered 28 runs off 2 wickets. There weren't any real partnerships to speak of. 35 for the first wicket, but lost wickets in regular intervals. So they couldn't really get the momentum that they required, Madhushika.
So looking back at the innings then, it was a very quick start for Kurunegala SC, early wicket, and some big hits, couple of hits coming along, but they were just unable to keep that momentum. This was Nethma. He was the man. He was the man that kept doing it, finding boundaries at a pretty consistent rate. And when he was going, the runs were flowing. Then his partner Ashan, who had been deprived of the strike, fell with one that just crept up on him from back of a length. But then Nethma, such a good innings, came to an end, playing all around that one. Then wicket after wicket kept going. There was dot ball pressure building up. The batters trying to up the scoring, but just finding the fielders in the deep, one after another. And it looked to be going that way right up until the end when Sarinder just decided, okay, enough's enough. Some big hits, finding the gaps. Yeah, that's one of the big ones. Final over. It was a very expensive final over. And that's what actually took their score to this 128 for 8, which they'll hope to defend. So some precautionary covers being brought on just between the change of innings. As we can see the target, it's 129 needed from 120 deliveries for Kurunegala Sports Club. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back with the chase.
Good morning. We are coming to you live from. Good morning. We are coming to you live from.
අපේ බෝලයයි ඕවරයයි තුනයි.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Sri Lanka Army Ordnance Cricket Club ground, Dombogoda. It's a picturesque venue. We had a bit of a rain delay after the completion of Leo Cricket Club's innings. So it will be a revised target for Kurunegala Sports Club. That's the reason why the skipper may be winning the toss, deciding to bowl first. So they are about to reap benefits out of it. Should be a very exciting chase. Picturesque surrounding, excellent ground. The wicket is good, and two teams dishing out very good T20 cricket. We are hoping that there won't be any rain delays afterwards, because yet another game lined up for the day. It's a double header here at Dambogoda. As I welcome Madhushka Balasurya into the com box.
Thanks, Dhammika. We've lost about over an hour of play, I think. But I think in a weird way, I would imagine that this has worked in Leo's favor. Because, yes, the target is 42 required of 5 overs. And that's a gettable target by any metric. But I think if you were to ask Kurunegala SC, would they have rather chased down the original target of 129 of a full 20 overs, or this? I think the margin for error on the original target is more. Over here, you could try to hit out. You might lose a few early wickets. Yeah. It's an interesting dynamic.
As you said, there are pros and cons, especially when the weather is iffy. They are starting with the spinner, interestingly. One would hope rain around, pitch was under cover. There is a little bit of juice on the surface. Starting with quicker bowler, just like Kurunegala did. No such case. Looks like they are starting with Rohan, left arm orthodox spin bowler. He's quite capable of keeping the batsman silent, quiet. But at this stage, all Kurunegala has to do is scoring just 8, maybe 9 runs and over. I'm interested to see how many overs would be the power play. We'll have to keep an eye on the umpire. All is set. So after the break, the chase is just about to get underway. Prasad, I beg your pardon, the bowler. Wanyarachi opening the batting. Holding up on the surface just a little bit. Good line and length. Very good start.
Yeah, just to build on what I was saying earlier. What Leo's Sports Club, what they managed in the last 4 overs of the game was around a little less than 30 runs. At no point did they manage a 4-over period where they struck at more than 8 and over. But now the demand for Kurunegala is to strike, like you rightly said, between 8 and 9 runs and over. Yes, it's for a short period of time, but with a hard ball, it's with a bit of moisture on the surface from the rain, maybe sweating under the covers, it's skidding on a little bit.
All it takes is one good over. There you go. Right now, Prasad has been doing a wonderful job, only conceded 2 runs. And you can see the approach by Kurunegala openers, trying to go after the bowling, but not getting used to the condition. I'm starting to think that ball skidding on just a little bit because of the wetness.
It's skidding on, and every dot ball, the value of a dot ball increases massively, because right now the run rate is climbing at an exponential rate. Oh, that's a nice shot. That's a much needed boundary there. Absolutely crucial runs. They do need those. They need at least a boundary every over.
You saw that few economical deliveries, immediately pressure builds up. They had to go for an innovative shot that was well executed. Boundary, a much needed one, because they got to score in and around 8, maybe 9 runs. That's a must. All it takes is one good over to apply pressure for Leo Cricket Club. It's an advantage.
Absolutely. all Leo needs is to cut down the boundaries. If they can cut off the boundaries, you can see that the batter just unhappy with that.
You will take that over under any circumstances.
Just 6 off it.
Just 6 runs off it. Very good start. It's getting tougher by the minute. 36 deliveries, 36 runs in fact. 24 deliveries remaining. They have all wickets in hand, but you can't hit them all out of the park. The pitch. Last over we saw quite clearly. Ball skids on. Very interesting game, isn't it? Fabulous start. Bright and sunny. All of a sudden, heavens opened up. It was a very heavy downpour, even though it was lasted for about 10 minutes. But the ground drained pretty fast. Very impressive. Credit must be given to Sri Lanka Army Ordnance Cricket Club. They're maintaining this ground superbly.
Yeah, it's actually quite impressive. There's not been too much sun out either, so the drainage has been quite useful. And that's into the gap. That was a poor delivery to start. Short on the pads. And Abhisekara can just pick his spot. He'll be happy with it. And that takes so much pressure off the batting side, doesn't it? Just a quick boundary at the start of the over.
First delivery. Hit away for a boundary, immediately dictating terms. Supun, I thought, poor line and length. You should be bowling inland with the stumps or maybe 6 inches outside. Not someone who turns the ball too much. Skipper. That'll do it. Because you got the protection.
Oh dear. They're throwing it away. An absolutely suicidal run there. This was never on. This was struck straight to short extra cover. And I think, was it the striker that made the call? Yeah, he sets off, but the non-striker he doesn't even turn back. No chance.
It was struck firmly, and the bounce also was kind to the fielder. Only need to grab it, sends in a decent enough return. Abhisekara, I thought Wanyarachi is the one who got out. He was at the non-striker's end. Very unfortunate. He was looking good. Communication, there was no run there.
But this is the flip side of a shortened game, right? The value of wickets is also very limited in that you don't mind losing a few wickets here because it's just about scoring quick runs. You're not going to get bowled out in 5 overs.
And you have a very short period to plan out. It's just about, basically there's no plan. Go out there, see it, hit it. That's it. Required run rate 8.73, close to 9 and over. Very good first over, mind you. They get a single. They certainly wouldn't mind conceding singles. He was initially interested in coming back for the second. Knows the call, wisely slow. After conceding a boundary, Supun Dilshan, the skipper, coming back really strong. That's the run out. Spanked it. The bounce was very kind. Waist height. All he need is to grab it, send in a decent enough return. Skipper whipping off the bells. 1 down for 11.
And credit to the field as well. He didn't throw it in hard. You see this so often, right, where they get a bit overexcited. They throw it too fast on the bounce. There's a fumble and the batter gets back into the
and at times there's brain fade trying to hit the stumps directly, losing it. Singles not gonna do too much of a damage. Boundaries certainly will do big damage. Just a single boundary, considered 6 runs. If he can, complete the over, conceding under 7-8 runs, he'll consider himself done well enough.
Yeah, I don't think Kurunegala need to panic at this juncture, but If they can get one more boundary this over, that is all they would really be requiring. But at the moment, 7 runs. But there's a lot of good intensity in the field as well. Credit to Leo's Cricket Club. They're really closing down those runs, making sure those ones stay ones.
I'm also starting to notice when you pitch it little shorter than usual, good length. It skids on, keeping low, very hard to time those. There you go. Inner part of the bat. Just couldn't really get underneath it because already keeping it low. 8 runs of the second. Fairly good one. Wicket being taken. 14 for 1 after 2.
So there is the equation. It's 28 needed from 18. Pretty straightforward equation for a lot of sides in modern cricket. But this is a very unique scenario because the ball is harder and the pressure is on. It just takes 1 over. 1 over to bring the requirement down to run a ball. Just 1 big over or 1 tight over, and suddenly the requirement is it doubles.
One economical over and just 3 boundaries would do the trick. That will be enough. Sudharu Dakshina, experienced campaigner. He played for Malay Cricket Club, if I'm not mistaken. They've done seriously well. They've beaten SSC in a T20 game. So, coming across as a player who's got the pedigree.
I like this ploy of continuing with spin, giving no pace, no additional pace to the batters. Oh, look at that. That's valuable. The dot ball.
Swing and miss. Another dot ball. Pressure builds up. All of a sudden, this turned out to be a very exciting chase. I mean, you can hear probably the noises from 2 camps, 2 dugouts, getting louder and louder. Only be a single. Protected part of the field. Fielders, they've been vigilant. Yes, they made fair share of mistakes during the game against United Southerns Sports Club. But today, this is their opportunity. They've won a game already. But the way they gone down against United Southerns wasn't good. It's a, scarring your psyche.
I'm loving the intensity from both these sides. The batters, they're always running that first one hard, looking for the 2, but the fielders are ensuring that they're getting there quickly, picking up the ball cleanly. That's it. But it's it. It's found the man. It's found the man in the deep. A very well judged catch. And the second one falls. But more importantly than the wicket, it's another dot ball.
Absolutely. Just what the doctor ordered as far as Leo's Cricket Club is concerned. Excellent over so far. 3 deliveries, wicket being taken. More importantly, considered just a single. Came off the inner part of the bat. That nature. Ball skidding on. Both batters finding it hard to get underneath. Timed it properly away to the boundary. Denuga out for 6 of 7 deliveries. Sudharu Dakshina strikes for Leos.
.27 now needed of 15. Again, it only takes a few big shots to change that equation, but certainly the pressure must be building on those batters out there for Kurunegala. They know that this is something that's capable of them, but it's the cruel twist of fate. The rains come and suddenly the requirement is something you never imagined.
You said it right. Imagine a situation where you need only 7 and over. They wouldn't have created such situation. Well bowled. Heavily protected area. Only be a single. 2 more deliveries to come. Can he make it big?
And the other thing is, generally the conventional wisdom is when there's rain in the air, you win the toss and you chase, because when you're chasing, you have an idea of the figure. But on the flip side, this sort of unique scenario can occur where the batting team gets a full allotment and they don't particularly do well, but when you adjust it with the maths used in the Duckworth-Lewis Stern method.
Excellent piece of glove work. Wicketkeeper, he's been vigilant. He will be the mainstay. He's got the best view. He knows what batters are up to. So I'm very impressed with the way the wicketkeeper is handling his duties. Reverse it, came off the pads, another dot ball. Excellent over by experienced campaigner Sudhara Dakshina. Leading 26 of 12. This is getting even more exciting now.
Rightly said, 26 of 12, 13 runs and over needed. The game has swung almost decisively in favor of Leosia. The requirement is quite... There was just 2 runs off that last over. And the boundaries are proving very, very difficult to come by. You got a feel for Kurunegala SC. They would not have been expecting such a steep target, but that is the way the math has unfolded.
This is the decisive over. Whoever does it well will end up at the right side of the results. It's a good opportunity for Leo's bowlers. 13 runs per over required. Imagine a situation where somebody gets in an over with 5 runs, 6 runs. You're looking at chasing down 19 runs, maybe 16 runs in the final over. That's tough. Rishi Adishtan, right-hander. Three fielders in the deep on the onside. That's quite customary, so you can see. Skipper with the responsibilities of bowling the penultimate over. Generally doesn't turn the ball much, just darting in line with the stumps. Hitting it over the boundaries, proven tough so far. A dot ball, gold dust.
Brilliant bit of field in there. Leading from the front, dive into his right. Movement belying his rather hefty frame. That's the commitment. And every bit of fielding like that just amps up the pressure. He's gone over the top. And again, there is protection in the deep. Plenty of protection there. 2 men out, square on the offside, in front of cover.
As long as he doesn't concede the boundary this over, the game being more towards Leo Sports Club. Looking good for their second win. But it all takes a couple of blows, a couple of huge sixers. I'm sure they've shuffled the batting order, sending in their big strikers up front. But so far, we haven't seen none. In a part of the bat once again should only be a single. Excellent result.
That's the thing. When you consider Duckworth-Lewis Stern, that method, it's a system, a formula devised for the upper echelons of cricket. And no disrespect, but Tier B cricket, you can see that these batters, some of them struggle with the power hitting aspect of the game. And in this match, it's the power hitting that's been required. And again, finds the fielder, just one bounce to the man.
Although the fielder did well there, had he gone for a catch, he probably ended up conceding a boundary wisely. Stayed back, collect the ball on the first bounce. You said it right. We've seen cases enough and more. Just trying to blast the cover of the ball. It's not going to work. You know, big hitting is about productivity. You hit it, You middled it. That one also from out of the inner part of the bat. They will come back for the second. It's a run out. Very well done. Excellent work by the skipper and the fielder in the deep.
Just the desperation showing there. They needed that too, but it was again such great work by the man in the deep. The throw was spot on, right over the stumps. Minimal movement for the bowler just to pick up the ball and break the stumps. Second run out of the innings.
He was deep in the crease, had to cover who else but Sudharu Dakshina. Excellent throw right on top. Good collection. There was a little bit of extra bounce because the square area a little harder. Now the wicket goes down. As you said, just a single.
I don't want to call this game too early, Dhammika, but it's looking quite out of reach now for Kurunegala SC. And it's a game that they've dominated pretty much for, I would say, 80% of it. All through the bowling, they did a really good effort. But suddenly...
I'll tell you one thing. Just before the resumption, I saw two captains speaking to the match referee. Small grin in the face of this young man, Supun. So he was happy about that. This is why. Made solid connection, but there is protection in the deep. Once again, just a single. Excellent result. Take a look at it. Picked up a wicket. Conceded just 4 runs. Decisive over. Just 6 more deliveries remaining. 21 for 3.
So we're going into the final over, Dhammika. Just 21, not just, it is 21 runs needed. That's a tall ask in any form of cricket. 21 off 6. And in this particular game where 6 hitting, 4 hitting, boundary hitting has been quite difficult, it's not looking too good for Kurunegala Sports Club. And now, just looking back on those final couple of overs, how important were those last few hits, those last 2 big overs where they managed to get a couple of boundaries. In hindsight, those were crucial runs.
Absolutely. It all adds up in the final analysis. Now looking at a very stiff ask. They've been struggling to find the boundary. They're going to need plenty of them if they are to stay in the hunt. Niduvara, can he do the job? Obviously, Sudharu Dakshina, the experienced campaigner, entrusted with the duties of bowling the final over in the block hall. Will they come back for the second? I really don't think so. Take a look at the field. He collected, runs forward. If in case batters decided to go for a single, he's telling, don't even think about it.
That is beautiful bowling in the block hole. Really nothing you can do with that. Like, unless you're going to use your feet, make it into a full toss. And again, look at that, just right there. You can't really get under it. There's not much you can do, just drill it along the ground. And that's it. I mean, mathematically speaking, this game is done and dusted, I think. 20 needed of 4 deliveries. Well, 19 of 4. They need boundaries. Sixers.
Couple of sixers at least. As Sudharu Dakshina is like, hit me if you can. That one quicker. Goes aerial. Very comfortable catch. Wicketkeeper makes no mistakes. Another one bites the dust. 4 down for 23. There can be only one winner now, and that's going to be Leo's Cricket Club.
The gods and the weather gods have shone on Leo's Cricket Club today. That is certainly for sure. Just 3 deliveries to go, 19 runs needed. Even 3 sixes only secures the tie at this juncture. All the bowler needs to do now is to keep things legal.
Try and get a couple of deliveries just like he did right on the block hole. Proven very, very tough to hit decent sized boundaries unless you make solid enough connection. You're not going to get it over the boundary. 3 deliveries, even 6 runs per ball could get them to 18. Are we in for a super over? I really don't think so, but there's a possibility. Needing 3 sixes back to back. Flat. That'll do it. Flatter, quicker. Only managing to whip it away towards square leg region. Only a single. Imagine. Under pressure, how well Leo's spinners have done.
I'm very impressed with Leo's spinners. They've understood the equation. They've understood the conditions. Another one tossed up. This one a bit slower. Straight up in the air. And another one bites the dust. That's the 5th wicket to fall. There's just one ball remaining in this game. And Leos are going to win this at a canter.
Brilliant. Coming into this game, slightly low on confidence. They need a big performance. Reduced number of overs fits them perfectly well. Knew exactly what to do. Executed their plan perfectly well. Nidhur out for 6 of 10 deliveries. It's been a struggle for him. Take a look at their body language. Already knew that they've done what was asked of them. 24 runs and picked up 5 wickets. Single delivery remaining. Under the circumstances, a victory margin is a big one. I expected this one to go right down to the wire. Credit should be given to Leo's bowlers. They didn't come up with fast bowlers. Fast bowlers providing extra bit of pace for the batters to work on the onside, on the offside. So that's very clever. Also at the same time, the ball skids on. When that happens, it's very, very tough to pick up boundaries. There you go once again. Flatter delivery, very flat.
And there is the game. Leo Cricket Club wins by 16 runs. A comfortable win. One that didn't seem that likely a little over an hour ago, but the rains intervened. Duckworth-Lewis' turn came into play, and the equation was in favor of Leo's as Kurunegala struggled to chase down that target of 42 in 5 overs in a rain-truncated game.
Changing their fortunes. After suffering a heavy defeat during their previous game, coming back very strong. In the context of the game, 16 runs, a huge margin. There was only one side when it comes to the chase. I thought Kurunegala SC missed the plot by trying to hit every ball out of the park, missed quite a few, and as a result, number of dot deliveries build up. Eventually, they were looking at an impossible target. Happy moments, happier side, another big W. This will definitely help them to climb up the ladder, especially when it comes to the rankings. This, as we mentioned, only a couple of teams goes to the second round. Quite a few strong teams in this division as well. Ragama, Navy, Leos, Kurunegala, and United Southerns we saw the other day. So plenty of exciting teams participating in this competition. Formalities, shaking hands. The game is played, holding up the right spirit. That's batting pretty disappointing, isn't it? Required number of runs, just 42 runs, but unfortunately not enough boundaries. That was the issue.
Yeah, they struggled with their boundary hitting. It was a requirement of 8 and over, just over 8 and over, 8.4 and over to win the game. But they just needed a boundary and over and to rotate the boundary. That's what they were struggling. They were maybe going a little bit too hard at it and to swing the ball away, unable to find the gaps. And really it was just the early first 2 overs when the fielding restrictions were in place that they really had that opportunity and they were unable to exploit it. And then you can just see from the bowling figures there, Sudhara is the biggest beneficiary. 3 wickets in his 2 overs, 6 runs. Supun, he went for a boundary in his first over, 13 runs given away, and then Prasad. All spinners doing the job and just making things very, very difficult for Kurunegala SC in their chase, and in the end a comfortable win for Leo's Cricket Club.
In an era where spinners being put away for boundaries at will, for fun, it's always good to see spinners doing the trick for Leo's Cricket Club. Improvisation, getting the first boundary. That's the second boundary against Supun's bowling. At that stage, things were looking good. Run out never really helps. Catching, they've been very good when it comes to catching. Sends in a very good return, picks up another run out. Importantly, a dot ball. Very comfortable. I thought wicketkeeper did really well there. Took off the helmet before taking the catch. That's brilliant. That's another one going down. They all pretty disappointing effort at the end, only managing to score just 25 runs. Imagine more exciting cricket coming your way. It's a double header, as we said, as we are looking at the match summary. Winning the toss, Kurunegala inviting Leo into bat. 128 for 8 after 20 overs. Then we had bit of a steady drizzle. Got bigger. It was a delayed start for the innings when it comes to Kurunegala's batting. They were needing 42 runs to win the game. Unfortunately, only managing to score 25 runs of their 5 allotted overs. Sudhara Dakshina, pick of the bowlers, picking up 3 wickets in his 2 overs. Magnificent. Winning the game by 16 runs. The happier side, Leo, moving on forward with confidence. More exciting cricket coming up. What we'll do right now is take a break. Do stay with us.
විනාඩි ගණන් වලට ගහන්න නෑ.